classes, object, polymorphism, inheritance, abstract, and encapsulation and iterator. Okay. So OOPS, what is OOPS? OOPS stands for Object Oriented Programming Concepts. Okay. And what does it do? It empowers developers to build modular, maintainable, and scalable application. Okay. And it is a way of organizing your code. Okay. That uses class and objects. Okay. Now, what is a class? A class is a collection of object. Okay. And what is the object? Object is something like it has some action. Okay. Say for example, if I take an example of myself, so what are the things that you can think of? Okay, what are the things that you can think of is okay, name, age, height, color, okay, weight. These are all the objects, okay, for a person. So if you recall from last week's session, we were discussing about class, objects, and all, right? So I gave a classic example with a dog. Okay, dog has a name, it has a age, height, weight, and uh, and likes and dislikes. Okay, it likes meat. Okay, any non-veg thing that you give it to him, he likes it. Okay, and vegetable, yes, obviously he doesn't like it. Okay, so now, so we take example of class called dog. Okay, under dog, like guys, right? What is a class? Class is a collection of objects. Okay, so class dog has two subclass. Okay, which is golden retriever, and you take some other breed, German Shepherd or Rottweiler. Okay, so these are the and what are the objects that these two dogs have? A name, age, height. Okay, and what does it eat? Meat and all that. Okay, so these are all the properties. So every object that you see around, right? Any object that you see around has a uh, object has a attributes. Okay, so also like another example that I gave you is about the vehicle class called vehicle. Okay, a class, I mean vehicle, you under vehicle you get different objects, sorry, different classes, right? Subclasses like four-wheeler, two-wheeler, right? uh, Automatic, semi-automatic, manual. Okay, so you can categorize. Okay, and that is why we call it the class. Also defines a set of attributes and methods. Okay, so like for example, start the vehicle, apply uh, start the vehicle, apply what do you call the accelerator, and the car will move, right? So similarly, you have different attributes here. Okay, so I also gave example of hiring. Okay, employee onboarding. Okay, hiring is a class, and under that you have different organization within a company like HR, accounts department, operations, support, right? And every organization has their own uh, attributes. Okay, like in a company, if you see what are the attributes that you can think of? Onboarding. Okay, then you have training, domain, uh, uh, giving you access, admin rights, assets, assignment, all that, right? Application install. So these are all the attributes of a class. Okay, so these are about class and object. Okay, now what is polymorphism? Okay, so it means, if you recall, it means many forms. It allows functions or methods to behave differently based on an object or data type. Okay. Say for example, last time I gave you an example. 1 minute, let me open my Jupyter notebook. Okay, if you see, it means many forms. It allows functions or methods to behave differently based on the object or data types. Okay, now I have a class called animal. Okay, at very top. Now animal, you have a different class called dog and another class called cat, and you can have one more. Okay, domestic or non-domestic, like that. Okay, now what I'm doing here is, so class has many forms. Okay, this class, top class, has many forms. Okay, so you see dog and cat, and this is part of, see, you can see here, here we are taking an input as animal. Okay, here also, if you see in the bracket. Okay, so this is the program that we have run last week. Let me just, okay, so this is the program that we have run, and you can see, so it is calling, one is bark. Okay, it is printing this one, and this is also for animal called cat, it is. And then again, both of the class called dog and cat is printing this statement, which is some generic animal sound. Okay, so this is just a program, I mean, that you should be able to understand. Okay, but it all requires a good practice. Okay, so moving on to next one is inheritance. Okay, if you see what is inheritance, what is my, yeah, inheritance. Okay, inheritance is nothing but something when a class inherits properties and methods from other class. Simple. Okay, I have a two-wheeler. Okay, and the class is called Honda. Okay, just assume I have a Honda bike. Okay, that is the main class. Okay, and I have a subclass called Honda bike. You take bike A and bike B. Okay, Honda, under Honda I have two subclasses, which is class A and class B. Okay, and both the classes have a attribute called move, start. Okay, change gear, right? So if it is a non, I mean, sorry, what is it called? Automatic and uh, manual transmission, right? Even if you see, I mean, vehicles like Activa and all, you don't have to apply a brake, sorry, a gear there, right? It's just you turn on and you give the accelerator and it moves. And whenever you want to apply brake on the left handle, you have a brake. You just press it to apply brake, right? Similarly, in automatic and the manual, okay, in manual, what you do is, if you see whatever the makes that you see today in the market, right? All these vehicles have a same concept, nothing new, because these all inherit from the same class. Car also, you take, you have a class, sorry, you have a car. I mean, if you see, Indian style of cars are on the steering is on the right hand side, whereas if you see US and abroad, you will see on the left hand side, right? If you see any car in India, you take Honda, you take Toyota, you take BMW, you take Merc, you take what is that, Honda, okay, Maruti Suzuki, all are on the right. So what is happening here is inheritance. Okay, so it is taking the same concepts, attributes. Okay, even if you take mobile phone. Okay, nowadays, what earlier, if you see, uh, we used to have that 3.5 mm jack pin for audio, right? We used to use that for connecting your headsets, and then you will listen to musics and other things, right? Similarly, now what is happening is, as we are moving towards latest technology and innovation, right? So a lot of things, now we are using something called Bluetooth. Now, if you see Bluetooth, you will find all the mobiles are equipped with Bluetooth chip in the mobile, even on laptops, right? So what is happening is, you see, all mobile, and see, if you take a Bluetooth, right? as a class, right? Again, on Bluetooth, you have different versions. Say, for example, current version is 5.3. Okay. If you compare with 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, there are differences, right? So, see, 5.1 Bluetooth will have some range it can catch, right? So, 5.3 has a capability of up to 80 feet. Okay, so you keep your laptop or mobile phone at stationary at one location, and you just walk around. Okay, and it will still catch up to 80 feet. And it also has a feature called penetration. Okay, so wall penetration. So if you are sitting in your at your home, and you keep your laptop or phone in your living room, and you just move around to your bedroom or balcony or kitchen, right? So the connection that you see the Bluetooth, it will still connect to your headset, or yeah, whatever the headsets you are using. Okay, earpods or whatever, Samsung or Apple. So all these are coming with 5. So what I'm trying to say is, though the class is called Bluetooth, under Bluetooth you have different connection. Okay, so one is Bluetooth connect, Bluetooth disconnect. Okay, and even with Bluetooth you can transfer data. So these are all the properties that we are inheriting from the main class. Okay, if you see here, so I have a vehicle. Okay, and I am defining a function called move. Okay, so I know vehicle moves. Okay, and I have a class called bike. Okay, that can also inherit the same definition function called move, right? Okay, moving beep beep. Okay, if you see here, this is beep beep. Okay, and if you see here, okay, it is inheriting from vehicle. Okay, class called bike, and it is inheriting the properties of main class. Okay, now we will learn about, what was the third one? Polymorphic inherit abstract. Okay. Okay, I'll just write it down here. Okay, now what is abstract? Okay, in simple term, abstract in English term or dictionary term, it means hiding the internal details. Now, for example, I'll open a calculator. Okay, so let me open the calculator. Okay, so this is my calculator. Okay, and now I'm pressing 2 3 plus 6 5. Okay, now you see I got the result called 88. But do you know how it calculated? So it is defined internally. Okay, so whatever the number you're pressing, 23, it is storing in one variable called x. Okay, and after you press multiplication and you type again, so it will, this 56 will be stored in a another variable, and the result will be displayed when you click on is equal to symbol. Okay, now what is this happening is, behind the scenes it is calculating, but what it is doing is, it is hiding the internal details. Okay, and showing the necessary functionality. Same thing, if you are driving a car, when you apply gear 1, okay, you are least bothered what it is doing internally. Okay, it has some gears that are running behind the scene. Okay, we are least bothered how it is doing, right? And even on your mobile phone, when you are watching some videos or movies or whatever, right? So how it is streaming, and how it is caching on your mobile in a temporary storage, and how it is displaying the details on a web browser or in YouTube app or Insta. Okay, so behind the scenes, whatever is happening, these are, I mean, the mobile phone or car or class, whatever is there, right? it is hiding the internal details. Okay, so in simple language, abstraction is hiding the internal, okay, is hiding the details internal details and showing showing only necessary functionality. Okay, this is the first definition for abstract. Okay. Okay. This is a simple definition, guys. Okay. Abstraction is hiding the internal details and showing only the necessary functionality. Even if you see house, okay, or apartment, okay. So when it is built, okay, so you're least bothered, okay. You just come pay the amount and you will take the ownership of that house or apartment, right? And I mean, see, you don't have to worry about how the lift is working. Okay, when you press the button, it will go and stop in your floor at your floor, and then you'll get in and close the door automatically. Okay, so abstract is something hiding the internal details, showing only the necessary functionality. Okay, so these are all the concepts when you build any application or anything as such, right? So you have to use these principles. Okay, so you should not tell or give user an interface how it is working, how it is calculating. No, least bothered. Okay, you I mean user is least bothered. Whatever the interface that you give him to press button or click on something or select something, right? You should, whatever you are clicking there, the interaction, okay, it should work. Okay, that is what the meaning. Okay, so I have one code. uh, I have written on okay, now this is the program. Okay, so what is happening is from ABC I'm importing ABC capital. Okay, and I'm using something called abstract method. Okay, so just forget about this. Okay, now I have a class called ABC. Okay, and I'm using a abstract method. This is my class, main class. Okay, now here if you see I have a circle, I have a area. Okay, so I have circle and it is using something called shape. Okay, if you see circle, it has one shape. Okay, if you see area, it has one shape, right? Let me run this. Okay, so what I am trying to show here is, okay, so whatever the method I am using, this top one and this one, when I'm executing this area, okay, circle, okay, circle, this one, okay, circle, it is taking a shape. Okay, what is the shape? You can give any value here. Even if you give 10, it should work. Okay, area of a circle, c dot area. Now what is the formula for this one? Circle 3.14 or pi 22 by 7 into self dot radius. Okay, whatever the number I am giving here, 10, radius of 10. Okay, into self dot radius. This is the formula that it used. But you see here, I am just printing here 10, 20, 30, 40, right? So I am getting my result here. So this is the entire I can say the implementation. Okay, we are least bothered. So what is important here is this one. Okay, this will be disclosed to user and he will keep on typing here. Okay, see these are all concept guys. Okay, so when I hear this sheet today or tomorrow, okay, today I think I should be sharing this one. Okay, and then you just go through it. Okay, so tomorrow if you guys have any doubt, right, we will um, uh, again cover those concepts. Okay, now what is the okay, so what is the learning here for abstraction? Okay, shape, whatever shape you see, it's a abstract class. Okay, and where is area? Okay, area is a this one. Okay, area is a abstract method. You cannot create a object called shape, okay, only of its subclass that I can think of. Subclass, yeah. See, you don't worry about all this code. Okay, so what you are interested, or I can also try, I can say okay, now I'll store it in C. Okay, now I'll just string object has, okay, I have to convert that into integer. Okay, so you can use the integer function here. Okay, because whatever you type, right, it will take as a string until unless you explicitly mention that. Int object has no attribute area. C dot area. Okay, 1 minute guys. I will just abstract area circle shape. Okay, now you see here. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm taking input and I'm giving the area of circle. Okay, if I run again, 45. Okay, there's the area of circle 65. Now you don't have to worry how it is calculating and all that, right? So this is called abstraction. Okay, same example, you take a calculator, you take a gearbox, okay, you take an engine. Okay, you don't have to worry how it is managing the speed and how it is generating those torque, horsepower and all that. Okay, so what you are interested is when you press clutch, are you able to get the performance that you have paid for it, right? So this is um, What is this? Abstract. Now we will look at encapsulation. Okay. Now, what is the definition of encapsulation? Encapsulation means wrapping the data. Okay. So I'll write the definition. Wrapping the data. Okay. Especially what are those variables and code. Okay. Variable and code. Code is nothing but again, it's a method. Methods. Okay. Into a single unit and restricting access to some components. Okay. Now, for example, you take our firewall. Okay. So you guys are familiar with firewall, right? Windows or Mac, you have some feature. You take, I'll take a classic example of vehicle. You have a gearbox. Okay. Now, when like I said in the previous example, okay, when you apply gear one, okay, so what it does is it just applies gear one, and when you release the brake and apply clutch, okay, and accelerator, what happens? I mean, your vehicle will move, okay, your vehicle will move, okay, with certain speed, okay, and again in second gear, it will move with certain speed, okay. Likewise, as it goes along, okay, so what happens is your speed will be stabilized. Now here, what I'm trying to give an example is wrapping the data variable and code methods. Okay, for example, when you apply gear 3, okay, so it applies the gears automatically inside your gearbox. Okay, you are not worried how it is working, how it is moving, so everything is wrapped around. Okay, and when you move your steering, right or left or straight, if you keep it constant, whatever, it will go straight, right? And when you apply brake, okay, so you just press the brake, and internally what it does is the brake shoes that are attached to your wheels, right, it connects to the surface of your tire, okay, the metal part, and will try to stop or reduce the speed of your vehicle. Okay, and gradually what happens, when you want to apply, you will apply hard, and then it will stop your vehicle. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is whatever the data or variables or methods are there, right, it is wrapped under a single unit. Okay, so gearbox is one single unit where you have five different types of gears. Okay, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and the last one is reverse. Okay, when you press a reverse, what happens? Your vehicle moves in the backward direction, right? And and you see is restricting access to some components. Okay, so what is the example here in vehicle? So when you apply first gear, okay, and you are running, okay, and suddenly you come to neutral and put your vehicle in reverse, it will not allow you to do that. Okay, the rule for reversing is first you have to stop the vehicle. Okay, you have to come to neutral and then press the clutch and press the reverse, and then it will apply. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, these are all the properties, guys. Okay, these are all the properties of oops. Okay, so it tells you some uh, rules and regulation. Okay, how you should apply all this thing in your code and make a stable application when you're building something. Okay, let me run this. Okay, so we have already done this before. Okay, so I copied from there only. Okay, Now I have a class called accounts. Okay, if you go to the bank, okay, so see, wrapping the data, variable and methods in a single unit, restricting access to some components. Okay. Now you take an example of a bank account. You have a bank account that is a top class. Okay. And you have a functions called initialization. Okay. Initialization is nothing but it's a self account. I am the owner and I have some balance. Okay. Just assume. And what are the other functions that when you go to bank you do? Either you get the balance, you deposit, or you withdraw, right? So now here I have created one function called deposit. Yeah, another one called get balance. Okay, so get balance is when you go to the ATM, what you do is you insert your card, you punch in your 4 digit or 6 digit number, and then you select get balance. Okay, and we show you the balance, how much is left in your account, right? Now, if you see here, okay, so account is main account is who is the account name, my, and this is my balance. Okay, so I'm just giving an example. I'll run this. Okay, you see here. So right now my balance is 1,000. Okay, I am depositing 500. So what is the total? It is 1,500. Okay, 2,000. Okay. Now, if I want to withdraw, what I have to do is I have to use minus. Okay. Now you see here balance is there, right? Self amount balance. Okay. So these are all the you can see here how it is adding. Okay. Now, if you want to create a withdraw, you can copy paste. Okay. Same thing. You just change it from deposit to withdraw. Self amount here instead of plus minus. Okay. So whatever the minus you write here, for example, account dot withdraw minus sorry in within bracket if you say 1,000. Okay. So right now your balance is 2,000. It will show you as 1,000. Okay. So see, you have to look at the logic, guys. Okay, I'm telling you, when you do this logic, right? Account. So go, just think about school. Okay, in school, what are the things that you think of? Class. Okay, now you have students and you have sections. Okay, now sections I can define section A, B, C, D. Okay, under section what are the things that you can think of? Students. Okay, what does they do? Study. Okay, these are all the attributes. See, simple, whatever we are doing here, account, deposit, so everything you will see something like a function. Okay, now and here, okay, the balance, who will have access? See, if I have a bank account and you guys want to see a balance, okay, obviously it will not show my balance. Okay, it will show your balance. Okay, whichever the account number or uh, uh, account number or what is that called, the cust id you type in, right? Okay, it will pick up your data. It will show your balance, how much um, is your current balance. Clear, guys? Okay, next. Clear? Yes, no? Okay, good. So next one is iterators. Okay, these are all, I mean, see, if you see all these are taken from dictionary, okay, and real-time scenarios, because earlier, no, they used to create one bundled software, okay, and people have or developer have seen issues piling up because of bad framework they are following, right? So that is the reason we have this oops concept and frameworks, right? When you follow with this, right, your program will be systematic and even for debugging it will be really very quick in identifying which definition you have to see. For example, my bank account deposits balance is not working. What you'll do is you will control F and you'll see wherever is the balance, you'll come here, get balance. Okay. Now if you will debug right from here. Okay. Instead of, if you have 10,000 codes, you cannot do that. It's too much, right? So you, if you, that is the reason we follow some framework. Okay. Whenever you write your program, you have to follow framework so that yeah, this debugging will be very, very easy. Okay. Next one is I I T T T O R S, iterators. Okay. Now what is iterator? Okay. So first, uh, iterators. Okay. Simple term, I can say it's an object. Iterator is an object that allows you to traverse through all the elements of collection one at a time. Okay. For example, in your account, you have a lot of details, right? You have your personal details, then you have uh, account details, then you have credit debit details. Okay, what is debited, how much amount was withdrawn from your account, you see all the iteration in your systematic report, right, that bank guys send on a monthly or quarterly basis, so that you can keep a track on your account and balance. Okay, so I'll write down iterators is an object that allows to through all elements of a collection one at a time. Okay, so if I want to see my balance, my debit, my credit, and what are the accounts I have added uh, in the third party account, can I see all at once? No, right? If you go to your bank, any bank, SBI, whatever the bank you are holding, you can check one at a time, right? So this example, whatever you see iterator is nothing but is an object that allows you to traverse through all element of a collection one at a time. These are all taken from a real-time example, and that is the reason even if you go to the bank account, right, it doesn't show all in at once. Okay. Now what happens if it is showing all? Okay, it will create a clutter, right? When it is a clutter, you will not understand. Even if you see at your work, okay, uh, I mean the monitors or a lot of cables are going on, right? You don't know which cable is for what. You have to identify each and every cable, which one is for mouse, which one is for your keyboard, which one is for your docking station, which one is for your power, right? It happens. Same thing even at your desk at home. When you have a lot of cables, you don't know, you cannot go and pinpoint this is the cable for my display, right? It will take some time because as a rule says iterators, okay, it's an object that will allow you to traverse. Okay, traverse is nothing but going through all the elements of a collection one at a time. You cannot put all in one shot. Okay, so that doesn't make any sense. Okay, now I should have an example. Let me see. Okay, so this one simple. Okay, I have a class called count. Okay, so it has a function called initialization. Okay, I'll explain this in the upcoming classes, because when we are working on data and other things, right, we will be using this initialization and iteration. What is iteration? repeating. Or if you have 100 elements, you want to count each and every element in a column, and you have to find out whether that's a numeric or categorical. Okay, what is categorical? Categorical is non-numerical data. For example, you have a column called gender. Generally, what data you will see there? Male, female, right? So that's a categorical data. We have again um, uh, we have upcoming sessions we have on uh, information. Okay, basics of information. Okay, data, structured, unstructured. So we are going very basics. Okay, very basic. You need to by heart all those things. Okay, categorical, quantitative data. Okay, so I'll explain that in the upcoming classes, because right now you have to just focus on these concepts, iterators. Okay, simple guys. If I give you a um, um, I can give you simple example is Netflix. When you log into Netflix, you see a rows of boxes with a movie name, okay, and release date, right? When you hover one at a time, okay, when you hover with your mouse, or if you are watching on TV with your TV remote, if you select one, you can see the release date, genre, okay, whether it's a action movie, horror, you see on the right hand side, or what is the other one, the age group, right? Suitable for which age group? 13 plus, 18 plus, or A plus, adult, this, and you will see all those information, right? If you have in a row 10 movies, okay, can you select all? No, right? So that is called iterators. That is the concept they have added in Netflix, is one at a time. Okay, when you traverse through all elements, you can see the collection one at a time, not all. Okay, so that is not the concept. Okay, so this example that you see is one is initialization, iteration. Okay, this df stands for function, define function. Under class, I have a function. For example, I have a vehicle, I have a function called start, I have a function called start, move. Okay, I have a function called stop, I have a function called rest. Okay, or park. Okay, which is like you park at your home, and then done, you take out your keys and go back home, right? So whenever you have a class, it will have a different functions. Okay, that is what I'm trying to showcase here. Okay, and I'll just run it. Okay, now you see, okay, the current value is 1. Okay, what it is doing, plus equals 1 means it is incrementing. Okay, and how much it is incrementing? Current is 0, it will start from 0. Okay, and it will stop count of 5, I have mentioned here within the bracket. Okay, so something 5, one at a time. Okay, it is not showing all detail at once here, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, it will go one by one. Okay, if I say 10, what happens? It will show 0 to 9. Okay, in Python, the index starts from 0 always. Okay, remember, it starts from 0. You have to count from 0. This is 1 2 3, and likewise ninth one will be 10. Okay, so we have something called location, ilock. Okay, through ilock you can pick the value, and then you can look for what it is. Okay, these are all the concepts that I can think of, guys. Okay. Clear, guys? Yes, no? Sorry, I got it. I mean, message. I was watching at a message on my phone. Okay. So this is another one. Okay. I have a number. This is a list 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just assume this is my balance. This is my withdraw statement, and this is my uh, withdraw balance and credit and debit details. Okay, so can I see all at once in my account? Okay, you have to go. If I have a, see, in bank you see different services, right? Card services, then you see your banking statement, then you see report, then you see a debit and credit. Okay, so you can see all this, okay, one by one, not all once. Can you see card details plus this your statement? If you open two tabs, if you keep side by side, yes. But if you see in one tab in your browser, it is one instance, not two instance. Okay. So this example is get a iterator from the list. Okay. So how many iterators are there? Three. Okay. This number I'm picking up here, iter is a function. Okay. Use the next to go through each item. Okay. So I'm going next, 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 and I'm gonna read. Okay. So this is how these guys build application developers. Four, five, six. Okay. Now you see, though I have six elements. Okay, six elements, but still I am getting only three. Why? Because the statement I have to write three more times. Okay, but this is all very tedious. Okay, you have to write six times. Okay, to get the report. This is just for understanding, guys. Okay. Okay, what's the time now? So this one, let me go to the PPT. Okay, so classes and object, you guys are clear. Polymorphism, okay, many forms, inheritance, you are taking some features from your main class. Abstract, hiding all the necessary things from a user. Okay, encapsulation is uh, uh, you are hiding everything and giving only the thing that is required. Even if you go to the bank account, you will see on the left hand side check balance. Okay, but when you click on check balance, how it does, it actually runs a background with a SQL query. Okay, and it will show the result on the right hand side. Okay, so encapsulation, hiding all necessary things. Iterators. Okay, just now we learned about the iterators. Okay, iterator is nothing but, so if you it allows you to traverse through all the elements of a collection one at a time. Okay, that is very important. One at a time. Iterator is nothing but one at a time. Okay, what are the logical way that you can write? One is for loop, while loop. Okay, so we have already learned about loops. Okay, if you recall control flow statements. Okay, for loop. Okay, I have this and I'm printing all these five elements. Okay, so we have already done this. Okay, so one after one. Okay, it is just printing the entire list, but here I'm printing one iteration, second iteration, third iteration, fourth iteration, fifth iteration. Okay, so this is, I mean, similar to what we have learned before. Okay, so you have to practice, guys. I'm gonna share this now. Okay, give me 1 minute. What's up? It's called Python oops concept. Okay, so that is the Python file, Jupyter notebook file I've shared in a WhatsApp. Okay, please save that file. Okay, and create or save it for your future reference. Okay, so see, in interviews and all, they're gonna ask this concept, oops concept. Okay, if you know the concepts, okay, you can give some example. Okay, they'll not ask you, they'll not give you. See, in some companies, big companies, what they do is they will give you the questionnaire. Okay, now how does that questionnaire will be? Okay, they'll say create a class student with attributes and methods. Okay, now class student is there. Okay, so you take this example, you have student. Okay, you will initialize some student, and in school, what are the things that you see? Sections, subject, right? You can create all those things. Okay, and what does the student do? Learn, right? And apply. Okay, those are the functions. Okay, so these type of questions you will get in an interview. Okay, some companies, I've seen some companies, they'll give a questionnaire and they'll give you a day, 1 day plan. Okay, whatever you write here, they'll ask you to share your screen and they'll ask you each and every line. Can you explain what is this class and what is this and all? Okay, so don't copy paste from Google. You'll get it everything or Chat GPT. But when they ask, right, you have to explain. Okay, so you just create, copy this and get a summary about uh, create duplicate. I think AI feature. I have 1 minute. Okay, so that is one AI feature also. Why I'm not seeing, I don't know. I'll check later on. Uh, okay, so what it does is it explains code by code. Okay, but see, if you know what it is doing, if you know what the card does, right? How does the card start? Okay, so you know where is the start button, push button. Okay, and then you know where is the gear box, right? And you will apply gear, first gear, and then release the brake, and then accelerator, it will move forward, right? So similarly, if you know this program what it is doing, so this is a list and all. So we have in the next class list, tuple, sets, dictionary. Okay, all these basics, data types. Okay, so we're gonna learn about all those things. What's the time? 9:29. Okay, we are almost there today, on time. Okay guys, I have already shared, so please take a look tomorrow. Okay, and tomorrow what we're going to learn is data structures. Okay, this is very important. Okay, DSC. Okay, data structure. Okay, so what is data structure? Okay, so I have also uh, added this link, so you go to this link also. Okay, before coming to this class tomorrow. Okay, just go through it at your leisure time. Okay, so this is, I think, uh, 1 minute. This is okay, 19 minutes introduction. Okay, and you subscribe to this. Okay, this is a very good this is what we're going to learn. Okay, I'm going to teach these four things: tuple, list, set, and dictionary. Okay, so these are the building blocks of your programming language. Okay, this applies very well in Java. They call it different names. Okay, right now in Python we call it set. In Java we called it different. C++ we called it different name. Okay, but the concepts are same. Okay, so these are very important. See, same thing. Whatever I am gonna explain, same thing. Okay, but tomorrow please go through it before coming to the class. Okay, I'll be asking some questions. Okay, so that's the reason I have added all these things. Okay, but when I share my sheet, right, I will add a lot of details in Python notebook. Okay, hands on and all that. Okay, because which is what you guys need for your learning. Okay, so this is the same thing: list, tuple, set, dictionary. Okay, and once we are done with this, so these are all the example. You just copy paste and do it. Okay, but my suggestion is write it down. Okay, practice it. Otherwise, you will not get. Okay, so reading and writing file. Okay, you have a TXT file on your computer, and how do you read that? Okay, this is very important when you have a data set that is residing on your server or on the cloud. Okay, and how do you read that file? Okay, now and how do you write that? Okay, so there are some functionality that we will also learn with the open function. Okay, appending a file, existing file, then error handling. Okay, what is this error handling? Exception. Okay, so how do you do that? For example, if my server is online, I can log in and then I can copy a data and I can paste it on my physical laptop. Now, where does this exception you will apply? Server, right? If my server is online, what happens? There is a tendency my server is shut down or it is rebooting. So whenever you write any code within a try and except, right? So it will try till it is online. Okay. For example, I give you the example. If uh, or I can say you are going to a movie, okay, and I can write my code in such a way like try. If I get a ticket, I'll watch a movie, right? Except, okay, I will watch another movie. Okay, so same thing, concepts are same. Okay, you just need to logically understand what is a try and except. Okay, in PowerShell we have a try and catch. Okay, in C you have a try and catch. Okay, so different naming conventions are used. Here in Python we use try except. Okay, now if you see a number that can be divisible by zero, is it possible? No, right? Everybody knows I mean it is not possible, right? Let me just take this code. Okay, I'll just paste it here. Okay, enter a number. So I'll take zero. Okay, see exception cannot divide by zero. So this is the except, and this is the message I'm throwing. Okay, I'll run it again. I'll pick any number randomly 45. Okay, so when I divide by 10, this is the result I'm getting. Okay, so how do we write this? Okay, these are exception. We will write our block in try and except it when you think that I'm gonna get some exception. Okay, you will understand when I give some examples, right? You will understand. I'll just delete this. I don't want to do all these things. Okay, clear, guys? Yes, no. Are we good? Okay? And
Yes, Suraj.
tomorrow we're gonna meet at same 8:30. So I mean, see, we are heading towards some hands-on story after these concepts. Okay, this week probably it will take this week till Thursday. I'll try to finish. Okay, and then we are getting into our roadmap. Okay, so this is where we're gonna step in and we'll start our journey. Okay, with especially with data. Okay, so we have a lot of concepts here. Okay, so it all depends on how you are getting all this concept in your brain. Okay, if you are just listening and leaving, then it will not work out. Okay, practice is must, and believe me, if you bring your data, okay, I'll guide you how to work on your data. Okay, so what is data dictionary? These are the terminologies that we will learn, and then we'll use this what is this called, libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, SciPy, Seaborns, scikit-learn. Okay, this is for machine learning. This is for Matplotlib is for data visualization. With rich libraries these are. Okay, we'll see all those examples, and then we will start using that. Okay, if you want to do some browser automation, okay, you can use Selenium. Okay, if you want to use some GUI automation, okay, you can use Auto GUI. Okay, these are the library names. Okay, don't get confused. What is this very awkward names and all, right? So I know even if you see nowadays there are different naming, different names are coming for new cars, right? BYD. Okay, so Kia. Okay, with different name, funny names. Okay, same thing here also. We have different function libraries. These are called libraries. When you use these libraries, you can use the functionality. Okay, now you're not writing all those things. Everything is ready-made. You need to learn how to use those functionality and how to implement in your code. That is what when you will learn. Okay, this is for file operation. When you are reading, doing some file operation like writing a logs and all those operations. Okay, and this SSH is for connecting to a remote box. Flask, this is very famous web framework for creating a dashboard. Okay, this one also. Okay, and you learn this application also, Postman. Okay, so this is complete end to end, guys. Okay, how to grab a API. Okay, so this application also you will learn. Okay, so for example, I have this link I want to send. It will not work. I have to validate. Okay, so see, now data is going. Okay, so whenever you want to give access or reading some critical data from your database, okay, you don't give access. What you do is instead you will create a shortcut URL kind of thing. Okay, and using the attributes, and then you will give that access to me, and then I can read only from that table. Okay, in a banking system, if you see, you have a balance account, you have a debit account, all those things are there, right? So bank, if I go and ask for bank, I want a API, but he will not give all access. He'll give only customer detail. Okay, that to cust ID. Okay, when was the account created, and is that account dormant or active? Okay, he'll get only those options. Okay, he cannot give how much transaction is doing, where he is getting cash. Okay, which branch he is uh, submitting the cash, okay, into his account. You will not get. Okay, those are all for employees, bank employees only. Okay, so even if you are working on any project, they will mask those items. They'll give only the required information that is required. Okay, so you're going to learn a lot of concepts here. Okay, and after one and all, what we're going to do is we're going to learn a lot of libraries, plus we're going to learn about uh, the how do you connect to your database, okay, through API, how to create a API, all these things you will learn. Okay, so very interesting concepts that I will cover. Okay, and but you have to show some interest with your learning and practice. Okay, if there is no practice, then I would suggest this course is not for you. Okay, so this is the OS functionality, OS modules. We call this OS modules, where when you run all these things, it will show your current directory. If os.path exists, if you are copying some file in C tools, uh, um, uh, home, some folder is called home, or some folder called bank folder is there. Okay, you want to check whether if that path is there. Okay, so you will use os.path exists. You will give the location here, C drive backslash tools backslash bank. Okay, if that folder exists, you will write your next command is, okay, copy the file from here to there. Okay, so you'll give two location. So these are all the terminologies that you will come across when you are doing a data engineering job. Okay, you have a lot. Okay, so after this, we're gonna close this, and then we'll get into the data analysis, which is called EDA. Okay, this one part two. Okay, this is very crucial, guys. Okay, this is where you will spend a lot of time. Okay, understanding what is a data frame. Okay, basics, very basics. Okay, series, when you have a columns in Excel, we call this a series. Okay, data frame is something when you have a rows and columns, it's called data frame, tabular data. Okay, So this is the example. Okay, so you will learn how to read a CSV file, Excel file, JSON, Excel, all these things will come across. I've not created a this thing. I have another PPT. From there, I'm going to take all those baby steps and I'm going to fill it up. Okay, we still have time. So weekend I'll do that. Okay. So for now, these I mean these are all the concepts that we're going to learn in the upcoming classes. Okay, guys.